Guys, it's Tay of Mosh Pit Stables here, and welcome back to another video. This was an unexpected video, but some of you guys voted that you really wanted to see this, and my last stablemate is not going to be here in time for the new year, so this is going to be my last video. And with that, my last video is going to be my personal thoughts and opinions about both the Premier Club and the Stablemates Collector Club going into the new year. I'm going to do a disclaimer. These are my personal thoughts, opinions. You clicked on this video to see my thoughts and opinions. I am not throwing any shade towards you if we have any difference. I'm not trying to yuck anyone's yum. If you love it, you love it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. And it's black and white. Also, I am not joining the Premier Club this year, so I'm not going to be getting any of these models, except I will be hunting down whatever the freebie stablemate is at the end of the year when the time comes, or maybe I can pre-buy one now. I'll figure that out at a later time, but I am joining the Stablemates Club, so I will be joining Stablemates, not joining the Premier Club. Without further rambling, we are going to jump on in. This is just the Premier Collection deposit page. So you have up until December 31st at midnight to view this page, and then it goes away. Because by then, it's either you purchased your membership and you're in the club, or you're not. So, yeah. We'll scroll on down. Get a little overview. So these are going to be the releases for the new year. The first one, or presumably the first one, is going to be Winfred, a beautiful Molly mule sculpted and designed by Laura Skillern. Just goes over some of the traits of mules, that Laura is especially fond of them, and she is, well, the model Winfred. She is designed in a beautiful chestnut pinto coat with a dapples and plenty of I don't know how to even pronounce. I don't even think I've heard that pronounced in person, so I will not attempt it. But this is the mule. This is Winfred. I know in another blog post they did a video like showcasing her 360. I'm not going to try to show that for you guys. I'm just going to stick to this deposit page. So far she looks really nice. I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer first thing, but the only thing that I don't like about her, especially from her promo pictures, is just her dapples. I know dapples are very hard to get right, and in person they're just as random as they are in model form, but I don't know. Dapples, I feel like, are a Pandora's box of the model realm. They're just so hard to get right, and it's, I mean, absolutely no disrespect, because I'm not an artist, and I could never do dapples on the level of this, and be in production with Breyer. So, what I say about dapples, take it with a grain of salt. But everything else about her is beautiful. I especially love the mapping on her markings. I feel like that is such a tiny detail, but it really makes the difference between lifelike and just a nice painted model, I feel like. So what the dapples take away from, I feel like the mapping makes up for. We'll see how well that translates into plastic, because from my untrained, unartist eye, this picture right here, to me it looks like just a painted resin and not plastic, but we will see at a later time. The second release is Rowan, a delightful pony sculpted by Kelly Seeley, I'm hoping I'm saying that right, of the United Kingdom, with a cream, so he is a cream dun coat, but okay, I will get into that when we look at his pictures. And a cream dun coat designed by Tammy, oh my goodness, Palmerchuk? I'm so sorry, of Winter Glen Studio. Members can choose between a hardy, loose-made Highland Pony stallion or a sleek, braided British riding pony mare. Kelly spent many hours getting their details just right, from hardy conformation, a crusty neck and thick full mane for the Highland Pony, and a finer, more feminine expression, with perfect turnout for our British riding pony. Both are moving at the trot with strength and ease. Okay, so up here to the ponies. I'm sorry, it's a lot of back and forth scrolling, but it's fine. So this guy here, the loose mane stallion. Okay. So far, the sculpts look really pretty. I do not, I'm not too familiar with Highland ponies, but I have a just idea in my head. So I'm not going to get nitpicky about the body type, conformation, all that, but I do have a bone to pick about the color now that it was specified to be a dun. Try to zoom in here. There's shaded ear tips, but those are not dun ear tips. There is no zebra striping up here above the knees or on the knees to suggest any dun. It's just a dorsal stripe. I'm going to say this, and a lot of people are going to be upset, but just because there's a dorsal stripe does not mean that it's done. That's just a fact. You can argue with me and say that a dorsal stripe makes a dun, but genetically, that's not what makes a dun at all. It has proper body dilution. It has dun, you can tell the difference between just like shaded dark ears or like on a typical bay. They have dark ear points, right? But then you get a bay dun and they are completely different ear tip markings. And then you have the zebra stripes on the legs, and then it's more than just a dorsal stripe. It has to go through the tail head, and there is usually lighter, what we call guard hairs at the dock of the tail. So, yeah, to me, this color does not scream dun at all. It looks like a very pale buckskin with a false dorsal stripe. But that's just me, and because I dive into real equine genetics a lot, so that is one of my biggest bones to pick with Breyer when they advertise something as done, and if it were a real horse, it wouldn't be done at all. And I would know because duns are my favorite. So, yeah. But regardless of the done, not done situation, these are lovely, and I don't think we've really had such a drastic difference in molds like this since Brishan? Has it really been since Brishan? Or I'm not sure. I've only really been paying attention to traditional molds and what happens to them like fairly recently. So I could be remembering wrong, but right now I feel like the last time we've seen such major differences between these was, or S Just a Dream. Who came first, Brishan or S Just a Dream? I can't remember. But regardless, these are some really big differences. Not only can you see like the night and day difference in the mane, but also especially in the lower legs, where the stallion has some loose, very light feathering, and the mare does not, especially going up into the front, sort of like the shield of her chest, the difference in the muscling. So I feel like he is going to be very popular. I believe this is a first for Breyer Premier Club history, like not just the mane and tail differences, but different male and female anatomy, and also just the muscling. So that is really cool to see. I'm very happy for the people who joined and who get these options. Breyer, if you could do this in stablemate scale, that would be top tier. Top tier. I feel like the Stablemates Club gets overlooked a lot. They put all their eggs into one basket for the Premier Club. I mean, last year we got two modded stablemates, We got a roached mane Murado, and then we got the G2 thoroughbred into a polo pony. So I really want to see more of that offered in the Stablemate Club too, not just the Premier Club. But we'll see. So going on down to the last traditional model for this year, Cosmo. Again, if I'm pronouncing that. A Morghese stallion sculpted by Sarah. I'm so sorry. I don't even know how to try to pronounce that. But Cosmo, he is a rare Italian breed, was originally bred for military and agricultural work, but is now enjoyed as a riding horse. Sarah did not spare any detail in the stallion, capturing the breed's beautiful wavy hair, wow, and iconic convex Roman nose. True to his breed standard, he is painted as a shaded black with a dappling technique developed by Heather Pallel, hopefully. Members can choose between matte or glossy finish for their Cosmo model. And here's his picture. Well, there's the ponies too, but here's his picture right here, so I won't go all the way back up. He's beautiful. If I was in the club, I would definitely choose the glossy, because I love that you can still tell that he is a shaded black underneath all that gloss. It doesn't make him look just straight black or like the Cole models, I guess. And once again, I really hate to say this, and again, no disrespect to the artist, just my personal thoughts and opinions. I will go back up because I can make these bigger. I'm not a fan of the dapples. Again, on the matte, it makes him look unfinished to me. I would have liked him a lot more without the dapples, and I like how on the glossy you can just ever so barely see them. I guess we'll see how he looks in person, but from these pictures, the gloss definitely makes him look a lot better, especially hiding the dapples, but also highlighting the shading that he has. Even the ponies, these are not my favorite dapples. So we will see how they translate out into plastic, hopefully a lot better than what they look like in these photos, because Breyer has a tendency to not display their models with their photos as accurate as they could. So we'll see what they look like. So far, I don't feel like this is a bad lineup. This is really cool. Here's a look at what the boxes will look like this year and the COA. I'm very excited for the people who joined this year, and I'm excited to see what the stablemate will look like, because I will need them regardless for my one of every stablemate mold. I'm hoping it's a new mule, just like Winfred. So maybe if we get like a carbon copy miniature Winfred, I would be super happy with that. But I'll just have to be happy with whoever it is, and that will be fine. So that's it for the Premier Club, and now let's go ramble on about the Stablemates Club. And here we are for the Stablemates. The first, I'm thinking this might be the first release, because this is the first one that they've revealed to us. Where I'm super confused because usually the brand new sculpt is the last release, and they sort of hint at that a little bit later, or they give us a silhouette. This year, they just had her out in all of her glory, and we have Madonna. She is a miniature shrunken down Pam, but with hints and nods towards her original design known as Zara from Hagen Renneker. Don't ask me what those differences are, because I've never seen a Zara and I've never seen a Pam in person. If I was in the same room as a Pam or a Zara, I never looked at them, so I've never held one. I don't know what these nods towards the original Hagen Renneker design are, so please don't ask me to explain them to you. What I can explain to you is this lovely color. This lovely, beautiful flea-bitten, bloody gray mare. I believe this is the first time that we've ever seen a bloody shoulder done as a original finished stablemate, so I am over the moon. I am so excited. I'm also really happy that even though it's yet another Arabian, we have so many Arabians. I don't know. I wish we could just take a step back from Arabians in general. But this is, so far, she looks like a lovely mold. I love that she's not like this super modern, very typey, dish face Egyptian Arabians. No disrespect, because I used to own an Egyptian Arabian. I just feel like there's more. There's more to life than just Arabians. Again, my personal thoughts and opinions, not trying to throw shade towards anybody. But yeah, so I'm here for her, more for her color, for anything. I mean, I'm definitely going to keep her regardless. She's pretty, but for me, it's the color that seals the deal. The mold is a cool nod towards model horse history, so I can appreciate that for what it is. But other than that, she's maybe like a 5 out of 10. Going on towards this guy, I don't remember his name, but I remember that it's Mercury reminiscent. So yeah, this is the mini shrunken down Othello, and while he is not a miniature carbon copy, I feel like myself and a lot of other people are just calling him mini Churchill because that's exactly, well, pretty close to what he looks like. He has one teeny tiny little sock and a cute little stripe, it looks like. From this picture, he doesn't have terrible dapples. So he looks really cool. I like the nice toasty buckskin and gloss. It makes him look yummy. So I'm really excited for this guy, and I see a miniature conga of this guy coming on, which is great because I do not have the room to spare to conga the traditional Othello mold. On to Spencer. This is the G1 mold for the year. He is... You're not Swaps. What's your name? Silky Sullivan. That's his mold name. I get him and Swaps confused all the time because as big of a stablemate fan as I am, the G1s, they are very neglected. I will admit that. But on that note, I am very excited to say that this will be my first ever Silky Sullivan mold that I will own. Once again, this is something that I've never even held or seen in person, or paid that much attention to in person, I should say. So I'm very excited, and I think Breyer said that this is only the third time Silky Sullivan has ever been painted as an Appaloosa, and he's got a really nice modern technique to him. I just wish that he was a little bit more of a true bay and not like a blood red brick bay sort of thing. Based on the picture, again, maybe in person he will look a lot different, but right here in his promo pictures, he's just a tad too red for me. But I still like him and appreciate him as is for what he is. This is Javier, and I have been waiting for years. Like, every time on Facebook, people are like, oh, what sculpts do you hope to see in the Stablemates Club next year? I have been screaming, Peruvian Paso, Peruvian Paso, Peruvian Paso. And now he's finally here, and they did him in such a cool color. And, well, pattern, I should say. His color is definitely very bright, very spicy, which I am excited about. I feel like it's going to be hard to look him over in the Spanish gated class because I feel like all the other Spanish gated models that we have for OF minis, they're not as attention holding as this guy. Or at least for me, this guy on Facebook seems like not popular at all. I don't want to say he's hated on, but I will say so far, like, the mass consensus seems to be he is not very popular. He's not what people are joining the club for. But I love him, especially in the matte or glossy split. So one thing for us stablemates collectors, we do get at least one matte or glossy split, like the Premier Club. But the only difference is Premier Club, they get to choose matte or glossy. We do not. It is a just 50-50 even split, and you hope you get what you want, basically. So I'm telling myself I'm going to be happy with either one of these, but I am coming to terms with the fact that I am no longer team matte. I am, in fact, team glossy, and I feel like the gloss will definitely help this guy out in the show ring. So I'm putting it out into the universe now. I want the glossy Javier. Our next release is Ava, I think her name is, and I am, once again, just like the Peruvian Paso, I have been waiting for the Stablemates Club to use a Tennessee Walker, and they did not disappoint with this girl. I'm so happy. I love her so much. You can't see it in this picture, but on her offside, she actually does have one blue eye to match her teal ribbon. And I am so here for it. My heart horse Spooks, he had one blue eye, one brown eye. And I feel like that is such a incredible detail to add to such a teeny tiny little model. Just the blue eyes, I feel like, can really make or break a mold, and how well defined they are, well, how lifelike they are. So to see a model with at least one blue eye, it just makes my heart happy, especially on a black and white Pinto like this. Such a loud presence of white, the large splotchy randomness of the black. I love it. I'm here for her. Maybe the only thing that could make her better was in gloss. So maybe, like, make this guy over here, Mercurito, or Mercurito, whatever his name is. I'm just going to call him Mercury because it's easy for me. I know that's not his name, but honestly, I would rather take this guy in matte and put the gloss on her. But that's just me. I am still happy with them as is, but if I was the one designing these models, that's the only difference that I would make. On to the Gambler's Choice for this year. This is the Loping Stockhorse Mare. And for the Stablemates Club as a Gambler's Choice, her name is Chickadee. But I feel like that's a pretty cute name. It suits her well. I'm not going to lie, I am agreeing with several other people on social media that all of 4 of these Gambler's Choice, they definitely remind me of the Slancha, or Slante, oh my god, that's embarrassing. The Giselle surprise horses a few years back, because there was a Red Roan Tobiano, there was a Silver Bay, Silver Black, a Black or really dark bay Leopard Appaloosa, and a Palomino Sabino. So while not a Palomino Appaloosa, I just still feel like they gave me immediate thoughts towards those 4 Giselle surprise horses. Which, I mean, like, I'm not mad about, but it definitely makes me feel like I've already seen these guys before, even though it's completely different scale, completely different molds. Giselle is a warm blood, and these girls are stock horses, but I just can't get that image out of my head now. But the 2 that I'm hoping for are going to be these two lovely girls here, the Red Roan Tobiano and the Palomino Appaloosa. Both of them are matte. The only glossies, or maybe that one's just pearl. Maybe it's glossy. I can't tell on the deco. But the Silver Bay, that one for sure is glossy. So I wouldn't be upset if I got the glossy one, but she just feels so lackluster. And she very much reminds me of the Silver Bay Atlee. Was it him that they used in the Stablemates Club? I can't remember. Somebody along those lines. But yeah, so my top two picks that I'm telling myself I'm going to be happy with is the Red Roan Tobiano and the Palomino Appaloosa. So that is the 6 mandatory purchases for the Stablemates Club. You do have to purchase all 6 of these guys to stay in the club. And if you are in good standing at the end, you have the chance to get this monstrosity. I'm so sorry. I can't pretend to love him, unfortunately. In my copy, he's already sold. So it's bittersweet because as much as I want to love him, I just don't. But I already found him a really great home. He is going to Ecuador. That's really cool. And so, yeah, I love the Darwin mold, don't get me wrong. I do have a accidental conga of him, and I do like the idea of a Pegasus. I just hate the color. I know hate is a strong word, but I feel like these color interference paints, I'm just going to say it, I feel like it's cheap. I feel like it's a cop-out to not add more detail. I mean, he's got wings now. That's a lot of detail, but like if they could have given him like some socks and maybe a star and snip, anything to break up that color a little bit, add just a little bit of contrast to him, and maybe he wouldn't be so bad. But especially this weird bronze, he reminds me of a trophy. You know, like you get this little metal statue, you spray paint it with gold, you slap some glossy top coat on it, and there you go. I just feel like, I mean, I'm no artist, and this might be a little out there saying this, but I really do feel like I could replicate this at home. So I'm not going crazy, losing my mind for him. If you are, I'm so happy for you. We're finally getting some more fantasy models. For me, I know this is going to sound weird because fantasy, so you would expect to see fantasy colors, but I'm waiting for the day that we see fantasy molds in realistic colors. Then I will be happy. Then I will collect all the Pegasus in pretty Palominos or chestnuts, bays, whatever. Or get something with Pinto Appaloosa markings, just something to break it up. So yeah, my copy is spoken for. He's already found a home, but he's gonna have to wait to go home a whole year from now. But that's fine. For being the only one that I do not want from the Stablemates Club, plus he's the optional release this year, I feel like this is going to be a really good year regardless. So yeah, I'm thrilled with the Stablemates Club. I feel like it's definitely a better lineup than this year, and we will see how they look in person as they come out. So yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for bearing with me while I give my thoughts and opinions on the clubs this year. Like I said, I wasn't trying to step on anyone's toes, so if you really love something and I didn't say that I love it, please continue to love it. Love what makes you happy in the hobby. Collect only what you want in the hobby. Don't collect for anyone else. So yeah, again, just thank you for bearing with my tangents. I hope you guys liked this. Let me know if you want to see more thoughts and opinions videos in the future, or give me new video ideas, what you would like to see. Message me on Instagram, whatever you like. So thank you for staying tuned and watching another video with me. And I hope you all have a very lovely new year, and I will see you guys probably, hopefully. My next video will be my whole December unboxing video. So stay tuned for when that comes out. I will see you guys in the next one.